4th of July is right around the corner, and that is one of my favorite holidays because as long as I can remember since I was born, it was kind of a family reunion get together for me. So we're going to make some red, white, and blue rocks, kind of in the theme of the geode rocks that we did a couple of weeks ago. So I'm taking red, white, and blue paint, and I'm playing around between putting it on the rocks and putting it on the foam brush, and then I kind of wanted to create a swipe across the middle of the rocks to leave some of the stone exposed on the top and the bottom, and then we'll write some things on the red, white, and blue. And I've noticed that it's very easy to lose the white in this process, so I did have to go back and add some white here and there and kind of play around with the colors because it was a little different than having a 5-color rainbow like the other geode rocks. And I think it was also a case of sometimes you can get a little out of control with the foam brush and go over it too many times, and then it really starts blending the paint. So getting the perfect amount of paint and just doing 1 or 2 swipes I think would be ideal, but I got a little overzealous, so what can I say? We have some interesting lines. Now that I've got all of the stripes on and they are dry to the touch, I'm going to take this silver paint and a disposable eyeliner brush and use the lines created by the foam brush to add some silver highlights. So I'm just kind of following the shape. There's kind of a rolling shape, kind of a swirly shape, and I'm following that with the paintbrush and just adding some silver highlights, and then I'm going to come back with silver glitter. But I'm going to wait until after we get the writing on these rocks to put the silver glitter, because I know I'm going to write over some of these silver lines and I don't want to have to write over the kind of the bumpiness of the glitter paint. So now here I come with a broad-tipped Posca paint pen. This is a white Posca paint pen, and I thought I would write wild and free and add some little highlight marks, and then we're just going to kind of see what kind of phrases. I kind of stuck on let freedom ring and wild and free. I thought that would be fun for both the 4th of July and summer, and just kind of making these some fun rocks that we can hide around back home when we go for the 4th of July. I like doing a mixture of the script and the print, and then thickening up the downstrokes on the script for that nice faux calligraphy. Now I'm going to come back with that silver glitter paint and give highlights to the silver highlights that are exposed still. So this prevented me having to write over the glitter paint, but it really takes those little highlight lines to the next level because they get very sparkly. And then I'm also taking that silver glitter paint and putting it on the outer edges in kind of a thicker band to kind of tie the whole design together. And I wanted the lettering to kind of pop a little bit more, so I came back through with some of my Uni Pen fineliner pens, and I'm creating either shadows or completely outlining some of the writing just to make it pop. And then to make it pop further, I'm going to take the Extreme Hologram Glitter Paint. It's kind of that iridescent clear hologram glitter, and put it all over the letters just so we have tons of sparkle. Like, sparklers are the thing on the 4th of July, right? So we're going to add all the sparkle to these rocks. And now the last extra level of sparkle is this Holograph Illusions chunky glitter paint that I'm going to add to those edge borders. I also wanted to leave some of these stones with the natural stone exposed, because they're so pretty, and then when the resin goes on, it exposes the stone even more and you see all of the detail in them. So they're so pretty, as you can see here. Full of sparkle, full of shine, a whole lot of fun for hiding on the 4th of July. Today we're going to work on a patriotic design for the 4th of July. So I'm starting out using a Mexican beach pebble. It's nice and smooth, and I'm taking a white chalk pencil and writing the letters USA on the rock. And then I'm going around with the chalk pencil and thickening up each of the letters, so kind of outlining on both sides of my original letters to make them nice and wide. If you need to, you can rub off the chalk pencil from the rock. That's why I love using the chalk pencil. Or you can just keep making the lines, and it's not really going to hurt because it'll get covered up from our design. Now to start out, I'm going to take some nail dotting tools, and I'm going to use kind of a larger tip, and I'm going to take red paint and add red dots kind of scattered all over the bottom of each letter. So these letters are going to be striped with red, white, and blue. So I'm adding the red to kind of give myself a line of where the red will stop and the white will begin. So just kind of random dots, large dots. You can dot until the paint disappears, which makes it, you know, go from large to small dots, whatever works. Then I'm going to come back through and do the exact same thing with white and blue. So I'm starting with that larger dotting tool and getting some larger dots on here to give some shape to the letters. And you can see how the chalk pencil is kind of disappearing and our letters are starting to form. You'll have to forgive my lighting in this video. It's not my usual bright lights because this video was filmed in quarantine. So Sammy and I both ended up with COVID. I had it first, and then he was like a day or two after me. So we spent a total of 11 days in the room, and so this was done by sunlight, the old-fashioned way. But I think it gives you the gist of the design. Now that we've got a little bit of all three colors on the design, I'm coming back with a smaller dotting tool, and I'm starting with the white this time because I didn't want to stick my hand in the dots. I figured I could work from the middle to the outsides of the letters. But I'm filling in some of that empty space with a smaller dotting tool, and then I will do the same thing with the red and the blue again. I usually like to try and make quite a few red, white, and blue design rocks so that I can take them on our annual 4th of July trip back home to Bridgeport, California. I've been in Bridgeport for the 4th of July for almost every year of my life. COVID kind of got in the way there and messed up a couple of years, but when I was a kid, it was kind of like a miniature family reunion. Everybody came back to Bridgeport to kind of gather, and it was always so neat to see all of our family. And so there's some diehard cousins of mine and some family that still continue the tradition, and I just love going there. It's a beautiful place, the air is fresh, and they have this great small town 4th of July celebration. So now I'm I'm going to get in here with my smallest dotting tool. It's the tiniest tip, and I'm just going to fill in all of the empty spaces that I can see without making it solid. So just a bunch of dots, and one of the areas that I concentrate on with this small dotting tool is around the edges to make sure that the letters have nice crisp shape on the outside, because I'm not going to outline them with anything. I'm just using the dots to shape the letters. And the neat thing about this is when the resin gets on here, the colors are really going to pop, because the stone is going to get pretty dark when the resin hits it, but then the letters really are going to pop off. So I was a little worried about the blue that I chose, because it was kind of dull looking at this stage of the game, but when resin gets on it, it's going to help it pop. And this design is very much like the rainbow heart that I had a couple weeks ago, and so you could do this with hearts, any kind of shape you could imagine. The letters, I decided to do the letters because that's something kind of different, and I made the stripes go a different way. But this is a great way to get your feet wet with dotting if you don't like having to do perfect, intricate patterns. This doesn't have to be perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. So you just get in there with the dotting tools and you fill in the space. Now, to get rid of what's left of those chalk lines, I'm just going to take a dry paper towel and just rub over the dots once they're dry. Make sure the dots are dry before you do this, or you might end up smudging them, but it will remove any remainders of that chalk pencil around the edges. And then we're going to add some resin, and look at how those colors pop. Welcome back. It's almost the 4th of July, so let's make some really easy firecrackers that you can take to hide at your local parade or somewhere in your community where there is a celebration. I started out by lining out the design with a chalk pencil using a triangle and a rectangle and using a curved shape on the bottom of each. And now I'm taking some Liquitex gesso to give a base coat so that our colors will have a nice, vibrant color and there won't take several coats to fill it in. Next, I'm going to take this nice bright blue color and fill in the top triangle. It is going to take a couple of coats to get this fully covered, but that gesso really helps with that. I'm going to follow that by filling in the bottom part of the firecracker with white paint. Now I'm going to take a red Thule Art acrylic paint pen and add some curved diagonal stripes along the firecracker. And I'm doing the very slight curve because that helps give the appearance that the bottom is rounded. And then I'm going to thicken those up just a little bit so they're nice and bright. We've got to have some sparkle on these rocks, so I'm going to take some red glitter paint and a dotting tool and add some sparkle to each of those red stripes. So just kind of piling it on thick so it will catch the light really well. And then I'm going to take the blue glitter and paint it on to the triangle shape on top of the firecracker. Now, using this Posca PC1MR paint pen, I'm going to draw on the firecracker's fuse. Once I've got that on there, I am going to take this Sakura Pigma paint pen and do a nice fine line outline of the entire design. Next, I'm going to take a dotting tool and that same bright blue paint that we started out with on top and just add some dotted accents to the design. This is some new glitter paint that I've had for a few weeks and I haven't had the right thing to use it on yet. Look how sparkly it is. Because it's so sparkly, I'm going to use a disposable eyeliner brush to add the explosion off of the firecracker fuse. Because the color scheme is red, white, and blue, you could do different designs other than this one. So you can play around with solid colors, stripes, dots, anything that you can imagine. Thanks so much for stopping by to watch. Don't forget to check out some of the other videos and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time.